Greetings, family. Peace and love to you and yours. This is Guru, and thanks for visiting my channel. So, this video is about a little kid. He was 8 years old who was shot and killed while walking home from a birthday party. This article was provided by Cleve R. Wootson Jr. Want to give credit where it's due. It's posted January 1st, 2017. With that said, let's go to the story.
A grandmother collapses in grief after hearing her 8-year-old grandson was shot and killed, leaving another child's birthday party.
This really needs to stop. This doesn't make no sense. An 8-year-old child lost his life.
The Broward County Sheriff's Office says Rasheed Cunningham was walking along the street with other children when shots rang out. Authorities say his aunt and male cousin were also shot. The cousin is credited with shielding other children from gunfire.
Thanks God that one of my nephews, he got shot 9 times in the back, but he saved like 7 kids.
All 3 victims were rushed to the hospital where the boy died. Now police are trying to find who is responsible while the community mourns this loss. The latest in a series of shootings in the neighborhood, which also left another person dead on Christmas.
Don't live in fear. Listen to the cries from those relatives. Come forward with information.
So family, community members are still trying to cope with a spate of violence that led 4 shootings in 4 days in tiny Dania Beach, Florida. Relatives suspect an ongoing feud between 2 groups is to blame in this city north of Miami for filling the holiday week with the sound of gunfire. Police have made 2 arrests but provided no motives. What's not in question is the human toll that has been exacted. 2 injured and 2 killed, including an 8-year-old shot while walking home from a birthday party. Police say Rasheed Cunningham Jr. was a few blocks from home when he was killed. He was walking home from the party with 2 adult relatives and a small group of children about 8 p.m. Tuesday. Quote, there was a black car that pulled up, stopped right here, witness Veronica Larkins told CBS affiliate WQAM. Quote, but the individual had on a ski mask, so I couldn't see the actual face. Quote, somebody gets out of the car, you can hear pow, 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 pow. Then they jumped back in the car, slammed the door, and went back in reverse. Witness Sonia Hughes told ABC affiliate WPLG that any of the 15 children walking could have been struck by the hail of gunfire. Quote, he didn't deserve this, and it could have been my child because she was walking with him at the time, unquote, Hughes said. It's going to be anybody's child, but now y'all killing kids. It really has to stop, unquote. One of the adult relatives moved to shield the children, witnesses told the news station. And seeing the video that I showed previously, you know that it was his cousin, I believe, that was shielding some of the other children. When paramedics arrived, they found 3 people shot, Rasheed and the 2 adults. Rasheed had the worst injuries. He was taken to Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital, but his injuries were too severe. The 3rd grader at Collinsville Elementary School died at the hospital. Outside the police tape that night, news cameras captured Rasheed's family coping with the tragic news. His grandmother collapsed, wailing. Quote, I didn't know that was the last kiss he was going to give me yesterday morning. He said, Grandma, I love you, she told WQAM a short time later. Similar scenes have been repeated across the city since Christmas Day, and investigators called on the community to tell detectives what they know to help stop the violence. Quote, this is the 4th shooting that police have been called to since December 25th, and tonight a young boy was killed. The shooting needs to stop. A child is dead, Vita Coleman Wright, a spokeswoman for the Broward County Sheriff's Office, told reporters on the night of the shooting. Rasheed's cousin, 25-year-old Christopher Jordan, was one of the other victims, shot dead on Christmas Day, according to the sheriff's office. investigators urge people to come forward. Quote, "What we need for the community is not to be in fear, but to come forward with information," Coleman Wright said. Quote, "When you listen to the relatives and you listen to the cries and the grieving that they're going through, someone out there knows something and they have information and we need them to come forward." Someone did, apparently. Police announced on Friday that Arvis Brown, 19 years old, had been arrested in connection with Rasheed's killing and the shooting of his relatives, according to the Miami Herald. Brown and another man, Gregory Sims, 22, are accused in the 4 days of violence. Meanwhile, friends of Rasheed's family have started a GoFundMe to help pay for his funeral expenses. Quote, "We need help raising money for our friend in need," the GoFundMe says. He lost his 8-year-old son Rasheed Jr. in the crossfire of a senseless shooting. Rasheed's shooting was reminiscent of the August killing of an 8-year-old girl in nearby Miami. In that instance, Jada Page was standing in front of a house with her father when two men pulled up in a black four-door sedan and started shooting at her dad, WPLG reported. The man was hit several times in the torso but survived. The girl was shot once in the head and died. Family members told the news station that father and daughter were about to go to the movies when the gunfire erupted. Family, that's the extent of this story and this article. I want to just say that whenever we see our black youth who are caught in situations like this, the news, especially white media, they have no problem posting our youth's faces clear as day. But when it comes to white children, you notice how they always blur their faces, always blur them out. But every single time we're talking about black children or black people in particular, they always do the opposite of how they do themselves. They never treat others how they want to be treated. Isn't that something? And you know what? We have black folks who follow white folks every whim of what they say, and they always have excuses as to, oh, you should just go along with it. Well, it would be nice if they just blotted out the faces of our black youth so in the same manner that they do white children. And that's all I have to say on this point. This is really a sad situation. I would hope that in 2017 that those in law enforcement, if they are doing their jobs properly, that they come up with solutions. Instead of always pointing their fingers and talking about this organization or that organization, or just coming up with all kinds of excuses, we just want them to do their jobs and do it swiftly. They have to come up with solutions. They're not coming up with solutions. They're coming up with ways of how they can blame the black community. That's about it. And in this instance, I saw what they did. They said in the video when I first played it to you, they said, and that woman, I don't know her name, but she said, "Oh, people of the community, please come forward if you know something, blah, blah, blah." Automatically assuming that it's black people and it's the people of the community. In this instance, they say that they do have 2 suspects. Hopefully the 2 suspects are the real suspects that were actually involved in this. Because sometimes, unfortunately, they blame us black folks for things that we really had nothing to do with. But anyways, I digress, and I just want to say this case is a sad case. And for those who were affected, their families, I give my condolences to you. This is Guru. I really appreciate you watching this video. Please like, share, and if you're watching, subscribe. Thanks again. Peace out.